Hey guys, welcome back. Hope you're doing well. Today we are obviously headed to the gym, about to hit some shoulders and some back. But before I do so, I want to get into what the title of this video says, which is how to bulk. I'm just gonna explain the easiest and most simple way to bulk, so it'll be understandable to many. Now, I hope you guys have an attention span of more than 1 minute, which is hard to come across these days. But this is going to be a brief yet very informational 3-minute talk on how to bulk. So get your notepad ready, and here we go. I'm going to divide this into 3 sections. We'll talk about workout, diet, and lastly, recovery. First of all, workout. Your workout should be just as when you're cutting, just as when you're doing anything intense. And the way to grow when you're bulking and put on size and ensure that that size is mostly muscle as opposed to fat is in part due to your training. And that's a very large portion too. A lot of people underestimate how hard you have to train. You have to train pretty hard. Now, it might sound intimidating, but it's not. What I mean by train hard and train intense is go hard each set you do. And now that doesn't mean do so many sets or do so much volume. You don't need to be in the gym for over 45 minutes or over an hour. You don't need to be in the gym every day. You can go to the gym for an hour, 3, 4, 5 days a week. The only thing you need to consider when working out is that you're pushing yourself basically to failure. You need to go very hard and you need to pick an appropriate weight for each set to where the last rep is basically failure and you're trying to push a little past failure. If every set you do this, you won't need more than 6 to 8 sets per muscle group to hit. I know a lot of people go in and do 4 sets of this, 5 sets of that. That's way too much volume. You don't need to be doing that much. You don't need to do much at all. It's more to do less, if you know what I mean. And you will be benefited heavily by doing much less volume and instead putting your primary focus on how hard you're training. You can get away with doing 1 or 2 sets per exercise as long as that 1 to 2 sets is being done and performed properly, meaning to failure or past failure. You need to go very hard, and as long as you do so, you're good. Focus on progressive overload, meaning try to get stronger each and every workout. When you walk into the gym and you're doing your bench press or your shoulder press or this or that, make sure that every workout, every week, you walk in and you try to either load up more weight than the week before, or you try to do the same weight you did the week prior, but for more reps. So anyway, whichever one you do, you're getting stronger. And that is how you progressively overload properly. That is how you get stronger. And getting stronger means you will get bigger. You don't need to do sets of 3. You don't need to go so heavy to where you're only doing 1, 2, 3 reps per set. If you want to get really strong, you can incorporate that style of training. But dude, you're going to get big regardless of how many reps you do. You can do sets of 3. I've gotten away with doing sets of 1 when it comes to big movements like the bench. You can do up to 5 reps, 8 reps, 10 reps, 12 reps. Everything works. I want you to keep in mind everything works. But whatever it is you're doing, make sure you are doing it with a lot of intensity. And now on to a more simple thing, which a lot of people overcomplicate for some reason, your diet. Now your diet, there are 2 things you need to keep in mind. Number 1, make sure you are eating in a calorie surplus. Number 2, make sure you are getting in sufficient protein. Those are the only 2 things you need to do when it comes to eating to ensure that you will grow. Firstly, how much to eat. Now keep in mind you're bulking, meaning you are in a growing phase, meaning you need to eat more. The first step you need to do is calculate your caloric maintenance. Now what this means is this amount of calories, which is different for everybody, is how much you need to eat in order for your body to remain the same. Not gain muscle, not lose muscle. Now, figuring this number out may seem like it is difficult to do, but in reality, it's pretty simple. All you have to do, which is what I do, is go on Google and search up calorie calculator. There's going to be hundreds that you can use. Just pick any of them. Pick the first one. I use one by calculator.net. They have like a bunch of different calculations. It's going to ask you for your height, weight, age, gender, and activity level, something of that sort. You're going to put in all that information. You're going to get a number, and that number is the amount of calories you need to eat per day in order to maintain your body weight. Look at the part where it says maintain body weight. Now, from that number, you need to add a little bit of calories in order to gain weight. Keep in mind, eating that amount will help you stay the same. So if you want to grow and get bigger and gain weight, you have to eat a bit more. How much more to eat? Well, ultimately it depends on how much you weigh and how much weight you want to put on in a given amount of time. You can play around with this, figure out what's best for yourself. If you want to gain little weight at a time, I recommend obviously going less, maybe adding 100 to 300 calories extra per day. If you need to gain a lot more weight, I'd recommend going up to around 500. Now keep in mind, eating 500 extra calories per day above your maintenance will help you gain on average 1 pound a week. So anything more than that, you'll gain more weight. Anything less than that, you'll gain less weight. Typically, if you want to lean bulk, you can eat 200 to 300 calories extra. However, of course, you can go to 500, and if for some reason you want to gain a lot of weight really fast, go beyond 500 for, if that's what you want to do. And that's it in terms of how to gain weight. Eat extra, simply put. It's pretty simple. Now, you don't need to track your calories every day, but it does help you kind of keep an eye out for what is what and how many calories each thing is. And when you start using that number and you calculate for a little while, you'll get used to what is what. And then you can stop calculating altogether. Just go based off what you see, based off what you know. Now, the second portion is how much protein to eat. Honestly, if you guys are not new to the bodybuilding community, you know that they say you should eat around 1 gram per pound of body weight, if not more. And I agree in the sense that the more protein is better. And I would say it is at the utmost benefit by eating 1 pound or more per gram of body weight. However, that does not mean that that is necessary or required in order to put on muscle. You can go as low as 0.82 per pound of body weight. Now, what does this mean? If you're a beginner, you have no idea what I'm saying. All that means is take your body weight. So for me, that's 190 pounds. Multiply that number by 0.82. And you get such a number. This means in order for me to get an adequate protein to my liking as a 190 pound male, I need to eat 155.8 grams of protein per day in order to grow. That's as low as I'll go. Obviously, if you want to keep it 1 gram per pound of body weight, which is what I try to do, I'll try to eat what is 1 gram per pound of my body weight. So I would have to eat, in my example, 190 grams of protein. If you weigh 150 pounds, eat 150 grams. If you weigh 170, eat 170. Simply put. Or just multiply your body weight by 0.82, as I mentioned. That should be your minimum. Eat anything above that, you're good to go. Side note, make sure you're drinking a lot of water. I recommend at least 1 gallon per day. If you're active, you should be drinking that much per day minimum. Now, I hope that was very detailed and you guys understood everything that I said. If you have any comments, write it down below. But we're coming to our third and final portion, which is the easiest one to follow: recovery. Recovery, all that really means is 2 things. Firstly, get enough sleep and make sure it's quality sleep. This is good for your overall health. I really don't need to get into any more detail than that. And number 2, make sure you're recovering from workout to workout. Meaning, if you're working out every other day, you're probably getting in adequate rest. However, if you're working out every day or you're active every day, you're at the gym lifting every day, make sure you are resting and recovering enough. Don't overload every workout to the point where the workouts in the following days start to suck. They start to suffer because you went too hard one day when you hit chest. Now the next day you're doing shoulders, but they're already sore and your workouts start to suffer. Make sure you're giving yourself enough rest and recovery between each workout so that you come in fresh each workout and you go hard and you absolutely crush it. That is all you guys need to do in order to bulk and gain weight this season. So start to eat, start to lift, and let's fucking get it, guys. Now I'll see you during my workout. God damn. It's pretty solid, dude. That's good.